In this video, I'm going to address what is transformational coaching and also explore a little bit about how you can either experience transformational coaching or become a transformational coach if that's something you feel excited to do. So in this video, I'm going to start with the problem with most coaching programs or coaching initiatives. Then I'm going to dive into the solution to those problems and also to help you understand why most of the time coaching just doesn't work. And I'm going to give you the solution to that at the very end, so stick around. The problem with most people's attempts to transform in any way of their lives, whether we're talking about business or health or relationships, is that people want a strategy. They want a system. They want a series of tactics. They want a to-do list. I know this because that's how I showed up in my coaching relationship that was the most transformational coaching experience of my life. I came in there wanting the how. How am I going to create this outcome? How am I going to do this? Tell me what to do. And I looked to the coach for the answers. And the truth is that I had coaches that did that for me for years. They would give me the answer. Go do this thing. Go do that thing. It wasn't until I met one specific coach where this coach helped me understand who I needed to be. This was an entirely different approach to coaching. Instead of focusing on the external, on the outside world, and on all the to-do things, this coach had me focus on the internal, on who I was being, on what ways of being I needed to cultivate in myself to transform myself so that the out picturing of my life would transform. So for example, if you want to be a big time speaker, a big time superstar speaker out in the world, making lots of money and getting lots of speaking gigs, right? You might come in and I could give you the strategies. You need to create an amazing keynote. This is what you can talk about. Here's all the things. Here's how to do it. Here's who to call. Here's the organization to join. I can give you all that. But if deep inside there's a part of you that fears being seen, if deep down inside there's a part of you that remembers that your dad used to ridicule you when you would get up in the front of the living room and perform, if deep down there's a part of you that feels unworthy, if deep down there's a part of you that's just consumed by fear, none of that's going to work. It's not going to work because you're not going to take the actions, and it's not going to work because people won't respond to you if you're not embodying this superstar speaker brand. So the answer to all of that is transformation. It's transforming who you're being. There's another word for this. It's ontological coaching. It's the kind of coaching that focuses on transforming the person and who they're being and how they're showing up versus transforming the outside strategies and tactics and circumstances. So for me, what had to happen in order for me to be able to transform is I had to go inward. I had to start meditating. I had to start doing yoga. I had to start eating different foods. I had to start having a new conversation with myself. I had to slow down so that I could listen to the words that were coming out of my mouth. And I could hear myself say things that weren't even true anymore. Things like, I have ADD, or I'm a mess, or I'm distracted, or I can never focus. These are things I used to say about myself, right? Which would further the belief that they were true. With transformational coaching, I got to take a look at those beliefs and I got to really ask them one by one, is this really true? Am I a mess? Or am I super creative, maybe a little bit messy, right? Like there are new ways to relate to our own selves. And part of that starts with language. That's a big part of transformational coaching is the words that we use and the language that we use. When we're speaking, we're also listening. And sometimes we're going so fast that we don't even realize what we're saying. We don't take time to listen to ourselves, but our subconscious is listening. It's there listening to me say, I'm such a mess, I can't do this thing, right? So transformational coaching, a big part of it is awareness of the language that we're using. And that's part of how we're showing up in the world. Another part of transformational coaching is what energy are we running? What's our energetic state in any given moment? We can have an energy state where we're energy poor, we're tired, we're exhausted, we're weak, we're ineffective, right? That's a low energy state. And there's also excited and energy rich and confident and passionate and ready to take on the world, right? Transformational coaching is about recognizing these states. It's about creating self-awareness, like who am I being when I'm like this? And who am I being when I'm like this, right? And it's about influencing ourselves. So by the way, I have a whole bunch of videos about self-leadership that are really related to this, and you can check those out in my self-leadership and leadership playlist, which you can click on below in the notes. The first and most important thing is to focus on yourself and transform yourself. Like if you've never heard of this, or if this is new for you, or even if you're wanting to become a transformational coach, step one is you've got to be coached. You have to experience the transformation of coaching in this way. So I highly recommend getting yourself a transformational coach, working through some of your stories and patterns and beliefs and behaviors with this coach. And I highly recommend ontological coaching as a way to do this, finding someone who's trained in ontological coaching. You can search it, you can find it, you can also work with me, and I'll tell you how to do that at the end of this video. And if you want to become a transformational coach, then I highly recommend getting transformational coaching and getting some sort of certification, or at the very least being in it for years, long enough so that you can really understand what it looks like. When you're coaching someone around their identity, around their deepest beliefs, their deepest fears, that's a big responsibility. And there's a temptation in coaching, and I know that I did this myself, there's a temptation to fix people. There's a temptation when somebody's sad or upset or having a hard time to make it better. That makes them feel better, which makes us feel better, makes us feel like a hero. But that's not the work of transformational coaching. The work of transformational coaching is to go in there, is to feel those feelings, to face the truth of what's happening, to feel it, to let it move through, and to allow that person to see their own new truth rather than trying to impose a truth onto them. So that's another piece of transformational coaching, is that it comes from the inside out. Even though there can be a coach leading the process and guiding a person, they can't do it for you. Nobody can do transformation for you. You have to do it for yourself with guidance, with leadership, but ultimately it comes from within. So how do you know if you need a transformational coach? It's simple. You do. We all need transformational coaching. In my belief, if you've never done it before, then you absolutely positively need it right now. Why is that? Because if you've never done this type of coaching before, or even if you had, we always have new areas in our lives that are ripe for transformation. There are always new places to heal. I laugh. The other day, I was on a retreat. I was leading a retreat, and there was a gentleman there who wasn't really engaged. I realized halfway into the first day, like, this was not a fit. I should not have enrolled this guy. And I actually reached out to him at the end of the day, and I said, listen, you don't seem to be really engaged. You're not doing the hypnosis. You're not doing the meditations. You're not doing the work, you know. And he's like, well, that's because I came for the strategy, and I've already done all this work. I've already done hypnosis. I've already done healing. And here I was thinking, wow, this guy needs more work than anybody there, because there's such a lack of self-awareness. You can't know this because I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but essentially the things that he had told me in his life that were not working for him were exactly the kind of things that he needed internal mindset and transformational coaching to work on. So I actually think, I'm going to go ahead and say that in my experience, the person who thinks they need it the least usually needs it the most. And what I found is that people who are super self-aware, super intentional, super focused on up-leveling and themselves are always ripe for transformation, are always looking for the next lesson, are always ready to do more work. If you are a transformational coach already, if you want to be one and you want to build and grow your business and you're looking for a guide, a leader, a mentor, then let's connect. You can reach out to me, schedule some time with me at superstaractivator.com/go, or just click on the link below in the notes. I look forward to meeting you.